Hey SnapFlash fam. Tonight, we're diving into the political storm shaking Gaborone. The Botswana Congress Party Youth League has come out swinging at President Duma Boko's State of the Nation address. And their message? Botswana can't eat promises. They're calling his steady path speech slow, elite-driven, and out of touch with the real struggles of ordinary citizens. If this is the steady path, they say, then it's either too slow or moving in the wrong direction. Oof. That's not just criticism. That's a political thunderclap. Let's break down why this open letter has the office of the president on notice. Before we dig in, make sure you subscribe, like, and hit that notification bell, because on SnapFlash, we go beyond the headlines to unpack the stories shaking the nation. The Youth League says Boko's SONA celebrates intentions instead of delivering results. They accuse the president of selective storytelling, fiscal hypocrisy, and ignoring the youth unemployment crisis. Their statement, signed by Youth League President June T. June, doesn't hold back. Botswana cannot eat promises. According to the League, Boko exaggerated small wins while downplaying real hardship. They argue that water tariff cuts only help connected households, while rural villages still rely on water bowsers, and that pension increases, already swallowed by rising food prices. These are gestures, they say, with symbolic value, not survival value. The League also slammed the government's handling of student welfare. While the president boasted of improved TVET allowances, thousands of students are still hungry, dropping out, or stuck in endless responsorship limbo. No roadmap, no timelines. Paper reforms without people results, they charged. They did welcome the opening of Sir Ketumile Masire Teaching Hospital, but say the bigger health crisis remains untouched. Shortages persist, staff are overwhelmed, and corruption in procurement? Still untouched. Yes, 500 million pula in drugs were sourced, they ask, but where's the reform plan? Why are the same officers still in charge? Then came the economy. Boko's references to uranium, manganese, and cannabis exports might sound visionary, but the Youth League calls it economic fantasy. Youth unemployment is still above 40%. Retrenchments continue. These are long-term dreams, they say. But families need food today. The League also hit back at what they called rhetorical reform. They claim corruption prosecutions are minimal, the DCEC remains weak, and the same old elites stay protected. Accountability cannot be declared, they said. It must be proven. Perhaps the hardest punch? The Youth League accuses the government of preaching restraint while living in luxury. Private photographers for the presidency, foreign trips, elite perks. You cannot preach austerity while living in luxury, the statement reads. The League isn't buying the hype about the 1,000 Girolando cows from Brazil either. They call it a distraction, saying previous multi-million pula imports already failed. On energy, they argue Botswana still relies on imports, Morupule remains unreliable, and there's no emergency plan for short-term grid stability. And when it comes to youth, the League says the SONA delivered more slogans than solutions. They welcome the rehab center in Sarowe and 200 million pula for sports and the creative sector, but say real investment must start at the grassroots, in schools, in talent development, in youth enterprise. Real development starts in classrooms, not in glossy speeches. Meanwhile, Fenyo Butale, a member of Parliament for the Umbrella for Democratic Change, UDC, defended President Duma Boko's speech earlier during a parliamentary debate, saying Botswana were impressed with his delivery.
Puo e ne le puo e botlhokwa ke ne ke kopane le bangwe ko kgaolong ba ke tatang ke supa gore ba ne ba supa boitumelo jo bo gakgamatsang yo mongwe a mpolelela gore this is the most impactful State of the Nation address thus far. Yo mongwe a mpolelela gore ke sone se se neng se na le ditharabololo ebile se itebagantse thata le go lemoga sente thata mathata a re leng mo go one gore ka jalo go tle go bonwe ditharabololo. Ke bone ba di-trade union le bone ba itumelela gore puso e mo State of the Nation address e ne ya supa ha e tseela go godimo ka lephata la ga Honorable Minister Maele vocational and technical education ba bosetu ba supa gore nya mo ba go amogela thata. Ke bone ba trade union ya dingaka le bone ba supa gore ba itumeletse thata tshwetso e tserweng ka sepatela sa se ke tumile Masire. Me ke bone le ba itsanape ka go harologanya ba supa gore tautona o supile tsela tautona o supile gore puso e ya kantse mo go tseneletseng gore bothata ke eng ebile bo katweng. Me ke batla go tsena mo kganyeng ya me mo tsamaisa dipuisano tsa palamente ke simolle pele ka mahoko a kileng a buiwa ke monna o bidiwa Sir Ernest John Ben Pigston. Ke mokwadi wa Mobritaneng yo e leng gore ebile gape wa khela thata mo dikganyeng tsa sepolotiki. O na le mahoko a neng a bua re politics is the art of looking for trouble, finding it everywhere, diagnosing it wrongly, and applying unsuitable remedies. Ke mahoko a neng a buiwa ke mokwadi yo. Me go na le yo mongwe o neng a tsaya mahoko ao o bidiwa Groucho Marx yo e leng an American comedian. Ene o na a hetola go se kae a bua gore politics is the art of looking for trouble, finding it whether it exists or not, diagnosing it incorrectly, and applying the wrong remedy. Ke belela gore ha ke reditse moeteledipele wa kganetso ke bona gore o bona politics ka tsela yone ha ke mo reditse nako le nako ha bua. Mme ke batla gore ke supe gore ke eng ke rialo ke eng ke re o bona politiki rona re bona politiki as a contestation of ideas. Re bona politiki le gore di-party tse Batswana ba di lebileng ebile ba lebile mo go tsone gore ba di rome di taisana borathana ka megopolo ye ka yone ba ka isang Botswana ko pele. Ke sone se e leng gore re se sologetse ke sone se o bonang re gakgamala ga go buiwa mahoko a gore nya ga re le koloti megopolo kana go raya gore ba ka o lengwe ba resign hela ba ikelela peng ka gore go raya gore megopolo ga ba itse se ba se tetseng mo parlamenteng.
So here's the question, Botswana. Is President Boko's steady path leading to progress or leaving the nation stuck in place? Tell us what you think in the comments below. And remember to like, subscribe, and tap that bell for more fearless reporting from SnapFlash. The BCP Youth League's closing words hit like a drumbeat. History will not judge this administration by the eloquence of its speeches, but by the dignity restored to those who've waited too long for change. Powerful words, and a clear signal that Botswana's youth aren't staying silent anymore. This is SnapFlash. Keep questioning. Stay informed.